You are listening to the podcast formerly known as Grow with Ralph. The Artist Strikes Again. Good morning. This is Ralph from what used to be called the Grow with Ralph podcast. We did a little bit of a name change. We are now calling it the Home-Based Business Success podcast, or just Home-Based Business Success on Spreaker and on Spotify right now. I was trying to think of a name that would make it easier for people in this business, people in this niche, to be able to find the podcast. And, Grow with Ralph, that name was kind of, not exactly exact. I mean, it could be about home-based business growth, but could also be talking about gardening, could also be talking about diet, growing bigger around the middle with Ralph, or, could have been about raising kids, raising cats, raising dogs. So I thought we'd make it a little bit more exact by giving it a title name that really tried to spell out what this podcast was going to be about. And we're about home-based business, and we're about how to find success in home-based business. So that's why we did the name change, and I thought we were at a comfortable enough level of growth right here on this podcast that changing the name would not cause too much confusion for folks. So, anyway, if you're used to thinking of us as Grow with Ralph, I still have that website, growwithralph.com, but we're calling the podcast Home-Based Business Success. And that is going to be our general topic for all the remaining broadcasts here, all the broadcasts that we do, is how to find success creating your own home-based business. And that's what we're going to talk about today is how to pick the right business for you, or, better still, how to create the right business for you. If you've been looking online at the different business opportunities, biz ops that are out there, I mean, there are a lot to choose from. And picking the right business for you is an important factor to consider. Something may look very exciting to you right now. And, of course, the way some people build up their businesses and sell their business, and, I mean, that's what you have to do in this space. You got to be a good salesperson. You got to sell your business. But, of course, when people are pitching and selling stuff for you, naturally they're going to make it sound as great and as wonderful as they possibly can. And they're going to try to get you all excited about it. And then if you get all excited about the wrong business and then you join and you get into it, you will later find out somewhere down the line that, I didn't really jump into the right business. I don't really have an interest in this sort of thing. And there's a lot of businesses out there ranging from, websites, sales funnels to cryptocurrency. And you can create your own websites, your own online businesses based around a variety of different interests. So really, what I would recommend before jumping into anything, just sit down and try to figure out what kind of business appeals to me. What kind of a business can you create and grow and work at that you won't get burned out doing? A lot of businesses, there's a lot of high-stress occupations out there. There's a lot of high-stress businesses out there that, you may be able to do full-time for 2 or 3 years or maybe more years than that, but then you just start burning out. Just high-stress occupations and home-based business, you can create your own high-stressed career. It's better to avoid that, though, if you can. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Things that I would like you to consider before jumping in to a home-based business opportunity. And the first thing that I would like you to consider, if you are thinking about starting your own home-based business, ask yourself the following question, which is actually a series of questions, but I'm going to sum it up just in one question here. And that question is this: what would I love to do that I can ethically monetize, that can support me and my family, and leave the world a better place? Again, what would I love to do that I can ethically monetize, that can support me and my family, and leave the world a better place? Now, we are going to break that down in the remainder of this broadcast, and I'm going to break that down in a series of 4 different aspects, 4 different questions. And the first one is we're going to take a look at that first part. What would I love to do? When people are thinking about getting a good job or picking out a career path, a lot of people tend to think of, okay, how much money is in this business? What's in it for me? How much money can I make doing this job? And sometimes they let that decide for them what they want to do, and that becomes their driving force. But the problem with that is that if you only focus on the money, you may jump into a business that you hate. How many people out there that have had jobs, have worked jobs that they just really loved, and they were excited about going to work every single morning, and they would just do that job even if the boss didn't pay them to do it? I mean, you just showed up to work, they couldn't chase you away with a stick. How many people have had jobs like that? Well, I think if you're blessed, if you're fortunate, you may have had a job like that. You may still have a job like that. But I think you'd be in the minority, because most people, when they're considering a job, they consider, okay, what's going to pay me enough to pay my bills? What is going to have hopefully some sort of career growth? But they fail to consider, am I really going to like doing this? And when we're talking about creating your own home-based business, if you're going to go through the time and the trouble and the effort to create your own business, why not create something you love? Why not create a business that you won't need a vacation from? Something that you are going to be interested in, something that you are going to love, something that you are going to be passionate about, that you would do for a living even if nobody paid you. Now, of course, when you're setting up your own home-based business, you want to think about monetizing it. You don't want to be doing everything for free. You want to have a way to monetize it. So, but are you picking out a business niche or an industry, an interest that you would do even for free? And then just stop and consider, what kind of hobbies are there that you like, that you love, and that you can monetize, and then kind of do that. And also think about, well, we're going to get into that towards the end here. But what is a hobby that you love to do, or an interest that you have that you would love to pursue? Some area that you would love to grow in. You may not necessarily be an expert in it now, but you have a very good interest in it, a passion for it, and you want to grow to become an expert in that particular area. And then also, when you're thinking about what would you love to do, this is kind of focusing on your business niche or niche. Also think about what are the kind of people that would be interested in this sort of either hobby or interest or passion, and what are the kind of people I want to be attracting to my business. And just kind of think along those lines in the beginning. In our case, we've thought about a wide variety of things that we were qualified to do, that I was trained to do, that we were interested in, that we were passionate about. And we also thought about hobbies. And one side business that we've considered and we're still working towards building it up is crochet. Now, my wife is very passionate about crochet. She would love to be doing crochet lessons, and she just loves to sit and do her crochet. Now, a problem that we've had, and this is relating to the second question that I would like you to consider, the problem that we had with crochet is how to monetize it. Because crochet is an art that takes a lot of time, even if you are, a very accomplished crochet person, crochet artist. It takes time. If you're wanting to do a tablecloth, you don't just sit down and in a couple of hours whip out a tablecloth for a large table. It's something that you can put a lot of time into, a lot of effort into. It may take you days, may take you weeks, depending on how involved the pattern is and how good of a crochet artist you are. It may take you a couple of months to do a single piece. And I was doing a crochet project just for myself. I was doing a crochet, doing some pot holders and, for hot pots. And I had a lady that was watching me work. And she just came in. She was taking care of my dad. She was a home nurse. And I was up there looking after my dad and doing a little bit of crochet to bide the time. And she thought that was interesting, first of all, that a guy would be doing crochet. And then also she saw what I was doing, and she thought that looked pretty nice. So here I was, sitting on the couch, putting a lot of time and effort into making these crochet pot holders. And she said to me, "Ralph, when you get done with that, I'd like to buy it off of you." And that piqued my interest, of course, being an entrepreneur. And then she said, "Yeah, I would gladly buy that from you for 50 cents. And I just kind of gave her a look because here I am sitting, doing this crochet. I had more than 50 cents worth of material in the crochet project itself. And then you have to kind of consider the time that you put into it too. You definitely have to consider the time that you put into creating it. And by the time that I considered the cost of material, the cost of my time, the effort, it was something I loved to do. But would I really let that set of pot holders go for 50 cents? I think $5 would have been a little bit more, my speed. But, she saw the look on my face and she realized then, what she had said and that she was thinking made in China prices and not handcrafted in the U.S. with love type prices. Because, there's a lot of competition in the crochet field. And there is a lot of, shall we say, unfair competition in the crochet field. So if you were picking that out, like the hobby of crochet, and thinking that you could make crochet pieces, create curtains, tablecloths, and be able to sell it, there's a lot of competition coming at us still from China. And to kind of illustrate, my wife and I went shopping at Walmart quite a few years ago. And it was at this time that we were thinking about making crochet products and offering them for sale online. And we were in the craft department, and I found a pack of 3 crochet doilies, made in China, handcrafted in China. And the asking price for these 3 doilies was, I think it was like 75 cents, something like that. It wasn't even 3 for $1. It was like 3 for 75 cents. And when I saw that, I realized that if we were to offer handcrafted crochet and tried to sell it, we would be facing a lot of very unfair competition. And I picked the pack of doilies up off the shelf, showed it to my wife, and I asked her, could you make 3 doilies just like this and beat this price and still make a profit? And I knew what the answer was going to be, but I wanted to let her know, the kind of competition that we'd be facing if we got into that particular business area. And she shook her head no. And I mean, she realized at that point that doing crochet pieces and then offering it to the masses would probably not be the best business model to go with. But there are other business models that you could go with in that same area, with that same hobby. Like you could market it as handcrafted in the U.S., made with love, and focus on offering a very, very high-end, high-quality product, and then sell your product for a reasonable price, something that you would be able to recoup your material cost with, the cost of your time, effort, intellectual effort, dreaming up the pattern, creating the pattern, and then be able to also make enough money to make a reasonable profit with. If that was your business model, you would then have to be looking for people who had the money to be able to buy, crochet products like that, not folks that were shopping at Walmart looking for, 3 for $1 type stuff. But be able to attract and network with the people in the world that want to have, handcrafted crochet products, can't really make it themselves, and are willing to pay a fair price to buy something handcrafted by somebody else. And there are folks out there that fit that description. But, you got a lot of competition, not necessarily even from China. Got a lot of people offering crochet at cut rate prices on a lot of online forums. And it's just a difficult area to really build up and do well in. I know that it is possible to build it up and do well in it, but it is something that's going to take time, and you're going to have to face down a lot of competition. So the first part of that, okay, what would I love to do? Pick a hobby that you love, an interest or a passion that you have, and then consider, how can I monetize my interest? And, can you offer like a product, like in crochet, the finished crochet? That would be your product, the finished crochet piece. Can I create a crochet piece without, spending a year to get it done in, and then sell it at a reasonable price, a price that will be considered reasonable, to the client, to the customer, and also fair to you, something that you can make a living creating and selling, not something that you're going to create and sell at a loss. Another thing that you might consider is there a service that you can build around that interest? Like, again, let's take crochet. Can I give crochet lessons? And again, there's a lot of competition in that area. There's hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos out there that are giving free crochet lessons to people. But is there a service that we can offer that focuses around crochet? And can I sell my product? Can I sell my service? Can I create my own website and just put that product or service up for sale right there? and then advertise, either do paid advertising or do free social media marketing, talk it up online, create podcasts, create YouTube videos, and then use those forums to drive traffic to my website. So, and then also, there's another area, another way that you could monetize your interest. Ask yourself the question, are there affiliate offers associated with this field? Can you, instead of selling crochet pieces, can you sell crochet needles? Is there like a place like, Amazon is out there, where you can be offering crochet thread to people. You can be talking about what crochet threads you like, and maybe even giving reviews of crochet needles, crochet threads, crochet products. And then at the end of the review, say, hey, if you are interested in this product, you can find it on Amazon. The link is below. And that could be another way that you could be monetizing your passion, monetizing your hobby or interest using affiliate links, affiliate offers, affiliate programs. Another good resource, talking about affiliate links and affiliate programs, would be ClickBank. They have a wide range of products and lessons and things that they offer in a wide variety of different niches. So you could use that as well as Amazon to monetize your website with, monetize your interest with. And then, of course, eBay, I believe they still have an affiliate program. So you can become an eBay affiliate and then market affiliate links from eBay, be finding nice pieces that you find on eBay for sale. And then rather than trying to create the product yourself, you can find products that other people have created and then offer that for sale and earn a small commission for your efforts. The problem with that, though, is that you have to be patient. It takes time, especially if you're dealing with, Amazon or any affiliate programs that offer like small commissions, like making pennies on the dollar. You're going to have to be making a lot of sales on a daily basis in order to be able to make a living. So it is possible to do that. It's difficult. It's going to take time. So be patient. And that's another thing that I would like you to consider. How much time am I willing to put into this business? But let's talk about monetizing first, because a lot of these business ideas that we can come up with, that you may come up with, they may become profitable over time, but you have to keep in mind this is not going to be, you're not going to be an overnight success. This is not going to be a situation where you create the business today and you're off making a boatload of money by tomorrow. That's why, I want you to consider what would you love to do, because when it comes to home-based business, you are going to have to stick with it for the long term. So, consider, is this something that I can stick with for the long term? Do I have the interest to stick it out for the long term? And do I have the financial resources to stay in this business long term, even if it's not paying me a whole lot in the here and now? And then another consideration for monetizing your particular interest is, can you create video content, blog content, podcasts that are focused on that hobby or interest or passion that can be monetized through ads? And that can be a lucrative area to get into. The problem for folks that are just starting out, again, is that a lot of times it takes time to build up your channel, to build up your readership and your viewership to where you can actually start making a fair amount of money through those ads. And it takes time to build that up. So again, don't think you're going to become an overnight success and just hit it out of the ballpark within your first week of business. This is something that may take weeks, it may take months, it may take years to become profitable. So another thing to consider when getting into your business is, do you want to be selling like vitamins? Are you passionate about health? Are you passionate about vitamins? There's a lot of offers out there in the field of vitamins, health foods, supplements, things like that, that you can buy your way into for, gosh, I don't know, maybe $100, maybe $50 membership fee monthly, maybe $100 membership fee, maybe to get to the highest level of membership, you might have $2,000 or $3,000 level. Do you have the financial resources to do that? And if you do, is this a business that you are going to be interested in for the long term? Or is this just going to be something that you'll jump into, get all excited, jump into it, break out your credit card, lay down a $2,000 to $3,000 purchase to join at the highest possible level, and then 2 weeks later you're kicking yourself saying, why did I do this? So yeah, pick something that you love and then consider different ways to monetize it. And what I would also suggest is don't just focus on one method of monetizing. Pick several different ways of monetizing. If you can offer a product or a service based on your area of interest or expertise, you can go for that, but also consider affiliate programs that would be suitable in that particular business niche. And then also consider creating video content, blog content, podcasts, and monetizing that through ads or, through ads, basically. And then also you use your websites and your podcasts and your video content to promote your products and services as well. But try as many different methods as you can without stretching yourself too thin, because you may find yourself in a situation where 1 week you're doing pretty well on selling your products or your services, and then the next week may be, kind of lean. But then on that week, your affiliate offers might start kicking in. And then your ad revenues, that's something that will start to trickle in as soon as you're big enough to start taking advantage of different ad programs. And over time, as you build up your ad revenues, it can work into something pretty darn good. But just have to consider all your options and don't get tunnel vision and just consider one or two spots, one or two areas, because when you do that, one area may or may not work out for you, but if you have a variety of different revenue streams, a variety of income streams, you're going to be a lot better off. And so, while you're taking the time to build your business and putting the effort into building your business, you might as well also consider building up different revenue streams based on the same business niche or a similar business niche. Or pick multiple business niches, but there you may run the risk of stretching yourself out too thin. But, things to consider. What would I love to do, and can I ethically monetize it, and how am I going to be monetizing this? And what kind of people am I going to have to be reaching out to in order to be making sales, making connections, and earning money? Because just sitting in your house doing crochet, using that as an example, and then just packing the crochet away and putting it in the closet, you're not going to be making sales that way. You have to be pursuing your interest, doing the work, and then also networking with like-minded people and letting them know what you've got. And the more people that you can attract, that's the way you want to ideally do it, is be able to attract people through podcasts, through videos, through blog posts and website posts, and doing your, getting SEO optimized and all that. And that way you can start attracting people into your business. But you also have to be reaching out to people on a regular basis and letting them know, who you are, what you have, and first find out, are you interested in this particular niche? And then introducing yourself and saying, hey, I'm into that too. And here's something you may or may not like to take a look at. And just kind of network with these people, find out what their interests are, if they're interested in a product or service that you have, and then telling them about your product or service in an ethical way, non-spammy way, a non-salesy way. And that can be done. So that's all I'm going to talk about in this segment. We're going to pause, take a musical break. Here is a song by a guy that I found on Magnatune, and it's called Summer Rain. We're going to play this song and be back with the rest of the podcast.
Oh, don't you see, baby? The time when you're away, it makes me feel so lonely. So what else can I say? Touch me gently, my dear, like only you can do. I wanna just stay here for a long, long time with you. Summer rain, here comes the summer rain, washing out your sorrow. Summer rain, warm and tender. You know in my life, baby, special prize. There'll be no dark around me, for you have lambent eyes. And touch me gently, my dear, like only you can do. I wanna just stay here for a long, long time with you. Summer rain, here comes the summer rain, washing out your sorrow. Summer rain, warm and tender.
All right, that was Yuri Liamkins. He's an artist from Russia. I believe he lives in Moscow. I found his work on Magnatune. And he has a vocal quality similar to that of Paul McCartney. And I mean, I kind of like some of his stuff. So that was Summer Rain. We're going to close the program with another one of his songs. And, it's just kind of in a mellow mood today. But getting back to the question, and I apologize if my audio quality is changing here. I'm experimenting with a new headset, and I don't know how well this is coming out. We'll see when I play this back. But you may have to work with me here for a while. But what we've covered here so far is what would I love to do in building my own home-based business? What hobby, interest, or passion would I love to pursue? And then how can I monetize my particular interest? And then after I monetize this product or this service, or monetize it using other means, will this source of revenue be enough to support me and my family? And this is where we're getting into an area that may be a deal killer for some folks. Because if you're needing something that's going to start paying the bills, like you need a paycheck every Friday, probably creating your own home-based business is not going to be for you. There is really, very rarely is there a steady paycheck in the home-based business area. If you need a steady paycheck on Friday, they're paying you out every Friday, and you need a guaranteed paycheck as long as you show up for work. You're going to get paid. Hourly employee, then you need to be looking for an hourly job like that, or some other kind of job. But in the home-based business area, it's going to take you time to develop it to where you are making some money, and then that money may or may not be reliable. It may or may not be consistent. That's why I stressed in the first part of this program having multiple streams of income, because if one revenue stream dries up one week, another one may kick in. And you may be in a situation where maybe one income stream isn't enough to live off of. Maybe two income streams aren't enough to live off of. But maybe if you can develop 3 or 4 income streams built around a similar interest or a similar niche, that might be enough to get you going and to keep you going. When my wife and I first got started in home-based business, we had to sit down and go through a similar thought process as this. And I also came to realize that just focusing on one business alone would probably not be enough. I mean, fortunately, we live, and this is going to sound weird, but fortunately, we were blessed to live in a very low-income area, in a poverty-prone area. And that may sound strange, but as a result of living in a poverty-prone area, I was able to, many, many years ago, buy a piece of property that already had a house on it, fix up the house, buy the house. Pretty much it took me about 3 years to pay it off, and be able to have a place that, I've got very few expenses on. Since I own the house, I'm not renting it. Taxes are extremely low. I think we pay like $150 a year in property tax. And all I have to do is just pay attention to maintain the place, which I'm going to have to get on that again now that we're into the cooler weather. Do some winter repairs and some spring repairs coming up. But we were very fortunate where we had a very low overhead, considering our house, property, business overhead, just all that stuff. we had very low overhead, so we could afford to live off of a ridiculously low amount of money. And I mean, when we first got into it, I sat down and was figuring out our bills and thought, hey, if all we do is $500 to $1,000 a month, we can get by on that. And I mean, we're talking shoestring budget. But I mean, we lived in an area where we could actually do that. Now, for folks who are living in the cities where you can't buy property that reasonable, where maybe you're spending $1,000 a month renting an apartment, maybe a studio apartment, not even a one-bedroom apartment. Back in the day, when I was living up in the city, I was able to rent a two-bedroom apartment for $400 a month, and it was beautiful. But back in those days, I thought that rent was high. But now I'm looking at some of the rents that folks are paying these days, and I just wonder how in the heck are they able to do that on, a low income? And of course, you can't. So that's why you have to be considering, how am I going to monetize my interest, and can I charge a reasonable price? A price that's going to be reasonable to me, a price that's going to be reasonable to my clients, and can I work this into a business that is going to support me? And I think that there's a lot of different possibilities out there as far as finding a home-based business that can support you. There are some very good programs out there that have some very lucrative compensation plans. If you're interested in that sort of thing, if that sort of thing is for you, and there are businesses out there that will let you build your own business, business opportunities that will let you get creative and build your own business around the business opportunity, be creating your own different income streams, and be earning off of a comp plan that pays you on a residual basis. Because, that's the other thing that may be a deal killer in affiliate marketing, is that a lot of times these affiliate programs that are out there, if you make a sale, you get paid a small percentage of that sale, but you don't get paid on a residual basis. Now, if you're in an affiliate program that offers subscriptions, where a person buys like a monthly membership, and they pay for their first month, and you get a commission off of that sale, that's pretty good. But the really great part about the subscription programs is that these affiliate offers can be offering you recurring commissions. So if you bring somebody into sell somebody a membership, and they join for 1 month, you get paid for that month. And then if they really, really like the program or the product or the service or whatever the subscription happens to be for, and they stay for 2 or 3 months, there are or longer, there are affiliate programs out there that will pay you on a monthly basis as long as the person that you referred remains a member or a customer of that particular program or service. So that's something there that you definitely should consider when you're creating a home-based business, and having affiliate marketing being one of the revenue streams that you're building. Am I creating a revenue stream that's just going to pay me every time I make a sale? Or is this going to be an affiliate program that offers a revenue stream that's going to be paid to me, passive income month after month after month, for as long as the person that I referred remains a member of that program? Definitely something there that you want to consider, because it is going to take time to build these businesses up. And you've got to sit down and consider, how long am I willing to take to make this business succeed? How long am I going to be willing to give it to find a success? If you're looking for instant success, then what you're going to be doing is you are most likely going to be jumping from, one program to another program, one business to another business, thinking that, looking for a get-rich-quick program, essentially, and thinking that you just have to fall into the right program that's going to pay you a boatload of money, and rarely, if ever, does it work out that way. You've got to give it the time. With us, when we started our first series of home-based businesses, I did lawn care, I did pet sitting, we was also doing odd jobs, hiring myself out to essentially little old ladies that needed help around their homes and doing plumbing repair and just whatever I could do to be helpful and be able to charge a reasonable hourly rate to get that job done with. I had, what did we have? About 3 different home-based businesses going at the same time. And between all 3 of them, that was giving us the money that we needed to live off of. And fortunately, we weren't at the low, super low end. I exceeded my very low expectations. But you've got to consider that. Are you going to be able to give it more than just a few months? Because I think that we are probably the exception in the home-based business area, that we could create a series of home-based businesses that we could live off of and do it within just a couple of months. Because other people, they may take months, many more months, may take years. And a lot of the big names out there that are honest and ethical, they say be able to give about 5 years of your life to developing your business. Other people will say give it 10 years. Can you have a long-term outlook? Are you willing to give this a few years if necessary? And if the answer is no, then you'd probably be wasting your time getting into it, because home-based business, really any kind of business, if you're wanting to be successful and ethical, it's going to take a long-term attitude to make this work. And you may also fall into the trap of starting one business, and then when it doesn't pay out, just give up on it and start another business. And maybe you're starting something like a YouTube channel, and you want to have like 500 subscribers by next week, and it doesn't work out that way for you. And you start putting up video content, and you keep making daily videos, getting it up there, and you see your channel is just not growing for whatever reason, and you just give up on it. I had an experience where I had one of my channels that I was monetizing, thinking about monetizing, and in the beginning it just wasn't working out. But I had a lot of video content up on it, and after I put maybe, 6 months into it, I just forgot about it. I gave up on it. I moved on to something else. And then 2 or 3 years later, I was getting notifications from YouTube saying, hey, so-and-so has just subscribed to your channel. And I decided, well, maybe I should check back on that channel and see what kind of a following that I have there. And I looked back at that channel, and here that thing had just mushroomed beyond my wildest expectations. And I've picked up and started doing more videos on that channel and started adding more content to that channel after having taken like a 3-year hiatus. So definitely have a long-term attitude when you're developing these different income streams, because it may take off within a few weeks to a few months. Then again, it may not. It depends. There's a learning curve to all this stuff. And folks that are quick learners or very, very, very good at doing these things, yeah, they can find success fairly rapidly. But folks that are just new to this area and need to learn how to do things from scratch, give yourself the time you need to learn. Do not be in a position where you are in a hurry to fire your boss. If you currently have a full-time job, keep it. Work your home-based business as a side business. Again, that's what I did. I had a full-time job, and I was working one of my home-based businesses as a part-time gig. And I was able to put over a year into building up that one home-based business so that when my primary job was looking like it was taking me into a dead end, and I really didn't want to put any more time or effort into that and wanted to go my own way, I had a part-time home-based business already built, already established, that then I could then focus on taking from part-time to full-time. So I already had the foundation to work with. But it took me about a good year to build that foundation, and then working with that foundation when I decided to take the business full-time, it took me just a few months to, make it to the point where we could easily get by on it. But, all this stuff, it does take time. And you just have to ask yourself the question, am I willing to give it as long as it takes to make it? And if you are, then I know you can go far in this industry. But, find a business that you are going to love. Find a business that you can ethically monetize, and then build it up into a revenue source, ideally multiple sources of revenue that are enough to be able to support you and your family. And then the final part of the question, and I think this is probably the most important one as far as long term, is what is my mission in my business? This has to do with that part of the question, am I going to be able to make the world a better place? What is my mission in my business? Back a few years ago, I was reading an article written by a guy that grew up in a family business where they made artificial limbs. And it was a family-owned business. They didn't run it out of their home. They had to rent their own business property and buy their own equipment and all that stuff. But they made artificial legs. And sometimes this guy would go into work. He was working under his father, and he just didn't feel like being there. And he wasn't doing a very good job, wasn't really putting in the work. And his father called him out on it. And he said, "Son, this is not just any job. This is not like selling groceries or sitting at a desk pushing paper around. This is our mission. This is a serious business. We make people walk again. Consider that. We make people walk again." And it was at that point that the son realized this wasn't just a job. This was a mission. This was like the family religion. And when you're getting into your own home-based business, consider, what is your mission? What is your purpose in the grand scheme of things? This is something you can get kind of deep and metaphysical about, or you can keep it a little bit lighter. But in your home-based business, are you doing something that is going to leave the world a better place? In my home-based business, how I'm structuring it now, we've always been about helping other people. Helping people as far as coaching, life coaching, relationships coaching. We've done a lot of that, spiritual coaching. And now my business is helping other people create their own business, helping other people to become financially independent and feed themselves without being dependent on an outside job. And I hit on this idea as a result of me having had a background in being a pulpit minister in a Christian church for 6 years, and all that time ministering in a dirt poor area of the world. And we always had people knocking at the church door, knocking at the parsonage door, needing help. The lights are about to be disconnected. It's winter and we have no heat. Can you help us? I've got no gas to make it into work. Can you help me? I need car repairs. Can you help me? And just a lot of need. And fortunately, in that career, I had 3 different resources that I could use. I had Salvation Army that I could write checks off of. I was, at that point in time, I'm no longer a member, but I was a part of the Salvation Army outreach in Mott County. And the church, of course, had their church outreach. And I was active in a ministerial fellowship, and they had their outreach fund too. And I was able to write checks off of all 3 of those accounts. So, yeah, we were able to help people with, their financial needs to a certain extent. But I always thought, can I do more than just throw money at these problems? Can I do more than just offer a handout to people? Can I give them a hand up? How can I work this to where we're not just paying their electric bill, but giving them a way to become self-sufficient, to pay their own bills? And I couldn't figure out a way to do that because I wasn't quite an entrepreneur yet, not in those days. But then I started to change my thinking, and I got into online business, home-based business, and began to see this could be my mission, helping people to help themselves. And when you figure out what your mission could be, you can easily turn that into a very simple mission statement. Like the first example I gave of, making artificial limbs. Mission statement there, very simple and elegant. We make people walk again. My mission statement, we help people succeed in home-based business. Be a very, very simple way of stating it. What is your mission? What is the thing that you want to accomplish in your business that will not only help you and your family to earn a living, but also make the world a better place? Because when people are looking at your business, they're not going to be thinking of how can I help this guy succeed. Usually, they're going to be looking at your business thinking, well, what does this guy or gal or person, what do they have to offer me? And what's in it for me? That's basic human nature. What's in it for me? So when considering building your own home-based business, consider how you're going to be helping people, what you have to offer people, and then how are you going to be communicating that via mission statement or any other method to the outside world to let people know that you exist, you're here, and you can help. What is your mission that you want to accomplish in your business? And then work that into a mission statement and fly with it. So there you have it. 4 basic questions that you can consider. And again, if you want the full phrase I started out this broadcast with, here it is again. One thing to consider in building your home-based business: what would I love to do that I can ethically monetize, that can support me and my family, and leave the world a better place? And when you can sit down, figure that out, then I think you've got the foundation with which you can begin building your own home-based business. But again, this is a long-term business deal. This is a long-term strategy you have to be mindful from. This is not a short sprint that you're going to be running. Having your own home-based business is more like a long-term marathon or series of marathons, and you've got to put the time and effort into it to build it up, or else it just won't take off. That's all for now. I think I've gone on long enough today. If you like this kind of content, hey, subscribe to me and check out my main website at www.growwithralph.com to see what kind of businesses I'm in and if any of them may appeal to you. But again, ask yourself the questions. Is this something that I would love to do? And will it work for me? So that's all for now. Tomorrow we'll be talking about what is your why in home-based business. Why do you want a home-based business? And is your why really strong enough and big enough? Till then, take care. I'm going to close out this broadcast with Yuri Limkins again, the song Countryside. We'll catch you all tomorrow. Take care.
Time of spring is busting out a lover. Countryside is rising with the sun. That's another life you may discover, with its beauty, troubles, and real fun. That's another life you may discover, with its beauty, troubles, and real fun. Can you hear tally ho and merry laughter? Smell the spirit, nature, and sincere. Ask me, here are those the kids take captive, and they'll answer, people living here. Ask me, here are those the kids take captivity, and they'll answer, people living here. Ooh, yeah. Crowded streets will never ease your mind. For such a game I feel no inclination. Wanna buy a home in the countryside. For such a game I feel no inclination. Wanna buy a home in the countryside. Countryside, it's rising with the sun. On the road, I'm just a lonely rover, searching for a stay when the day